Hello, Knights fans, and welcome to the 14th edition of the Knights Baseball Roundup. I'm Ryan Uhlich. As you know by now, I'm joined by the head of the FDU baseball program, Gary Puccio. Gary, beautiful day out, windy, but how you feeling?
Pretty nice, pretty good. Things are good.
All right, excellent. We got a lot to talk about this show. Here we are. It's all coming down to the last weekend, as it pretty much seems to happen in every sport at the college level. With the NEC tournament, 2 teams are in, 2 spots up for grabs. The Knights have a shot. They have a very good shot at getting there. They have to take care of business this weekend against Mount St. Mary's here at the Naimoli Family Baseball Complex. All alumni, fans alike, will come out and support the Knights. We would like to see you here this coming weekend. 4-game series. We'll get to it though against the Mountaineers. First, we'll start off with the alumni question of the week, as we always do. Red McGarry, take it away.
Yeah, Red sent in a great question and very appropriate this time of year as that pitching gets a little tired and stuff. And Red asked about roster size and said, is there a set roster size that you're limited to? Because based on what he's seeing with the number of pitchers and stuff, that had we had a few more bodies, a few more arms, that would help us. And Red, it's incredible your timing because I met with Mr. Langford, the athletic director, last week, and we've been talking about this for a while, and he did give me permission to raise the roster to 30 for next year, which would give us hopefully 3 more arms on the team, 3 more pitchers. So we're pretty happy about that. We think that's a good move that'll help us. We do thank Mr. Langford for doing that because it's definitely a help for us, and hopefully next year we will have those extra arms like you're saying.
Absolutely. Thanks for the question, Red. We will have at least one more show, and we hopefully it'll be 2. Next week we hope to come back with good news after the Mount series. We talk about that series. We talk about the NEC tournament. Now let's talk about the Bryant series. And this was, it reminded me of last season. We talked so much every week, obviously, but we talked about these games that little things would happen here or there, late in games, an error here, a base runner there, stolen base there, that'll lead to a loss. It can happen in an instant in baseball. This season, relatively speaking, in conference schedule, you guys, the balls have been breaking, things have been breaking more FDU's way, you'd have to say. This weekend, there were a couple games where really FDU was in control. They were in the driver's seat, but falling to the Bulldogs, a phenomenal team, first place currently in the NEC, but a tough series nonetheless. Do you have some general thoughts about the series? Because the offense showed up, the team battled tough, but this is a very hot Bulldogs team going in. You knew you had to face them in Rhode Island.
Yeah, the first game kind of set the tone for the whole series. I mean, we were up 6-0. And one of the things I told our guys, watch how Bryant did things, because that's what you want to be. So they chipped away, they didn't panic, they didn't we're down 6. All of a sudden it was 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, and they got to 6-4. We scored a run in the 9th to make it 7-4, and we had 2 out and 2 on in the bottom of the 9th, and 2 batters later we lost 8-7. And I mean, it was incredible. It was just a cue shot down the right field line. It was just perfectly placed and rolled into the corner, and we loused up the relay throw, and that cost us the game. And that set the tone, because if they came back from 6-0, second game we're up 4-0 right away. They answered with a 7 spot in the same inning. And third game we're up 6-5 bottom of the 9th, and they scored 2 runs off of Eric. So it just wasn't meant to be this weekend. I mean, I think we ran into a buzzsaw. I don't think we played badly. I mean, I thought we hit well. We scored more runs off of Wilcox and their freshman superstar than anyone, this season. I mean, we really did. We did a good job. We scored 4 runs off, I don't remember his name, that's why I'm just calling him Superstar. I'm sorry, I never pronounce his name right. Karen Shack, something like that. I always louse it up. So, but the kid pitched a great game. We scored 4 runs off him. The kid came in with a 0.69 ERA. If you would have told me we were going to score 4 off him in a 7-inning game, I would have took my chances with that. And obviously Wilcox, who's 6-1 coming in, we were 6-0. So we did the job offensively. We didn't do the job pitching-wise, and we didn't do the job defensively. And I don't even know if we didn't do the job as much as they were hot. And when you run to a hot team that's a good team, that's trouble. And I kept telling my guys, we walked a 9-hitter in the bottom of the 9th of the first game. So, okay, you just walked the 9-hitter, and now you got to go get out their 1-hitter and their 3-hitter, and, they're better hitters. I mean, that's just reality. So, my hat off to Bryant. I mean, I thought they did a great job of never panicking, and I told our guys, you can learn a lot from what they did. We really can. And it hurt us, but it didn't kill us because it's still in our own hand. And one of the things I told the guys was, listen, at least you could afford to lose. Not that you want to, but at least you're in a position where even with losing those 4, you're coming home, You're playing Mount. You got to win 3 out of 4, and things have to go your way. But you know what? We're playing for something the last weekend of the season. That's
certainly are.
Cool. That's pretty cool. So
absolutely, this weekend against Mount. Now, I think you talk about game 1. You kind of, from what I saw from the highlights, it was just one of those things that just it rips your heart out. It was a throw from Giacchis over here on first base. You had Snyder behind the catcher, McClure covering the plate. The guy is on third, stand-up triple down in the corner. But Pat went to go make that tag. It's a game time. He's going to make that tag. But the ball slips out and it rolls completely into no man's land. That's how baseball games are won and lost. It's brutal. But what impressed me most, though, is that the team didn't put their head down. They battled the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, and the ball bounced off of Pat out to the pitcher's mound. Well, the pitcher don't belong there. He belongs behind the plate.
He was,
and that's where Snyder was, right? So you can't turn around and say, "Well, Eric, why were you not on the pitcher's mound?" Well, he was where he was supposed to be, and it's just one of those things. The ball been bounced our way, like you say. It just and even the hit was a cue shot right down the right field line. I mean, it just. Sometimes the team's hot and things go their way, and that's what I think kind of happened. And I don't think we played badly. I think they played extremely well, and there's a big difference.
I mean, that's what happens. It's baseball. One thing can happen. As I said, that ball rolling to no man's land means one crucial loss and one crucial win for Bryant. But like I said, the Knights never put their head down. They kept battling. One of the most impressive things is that in the first 3 games of the series, of the 4, the Knights took a lead. It was 6 games in the first. Joe Flacco pitching 5 scoreless innings before running into trouble, getting a little tired at the end. 4 runs in the second, 2 runs in the third game. Game's not innings. But they kept battling. There's just maybe a problem with sustaining it late in the game.
Well, even game 2, we scored 4 runs. I think it was the top of the 3rd or 4th. I'm not sure, but I know we scored 4 runs at that inning, and they answered with a 7 spot. And it was 2nd and 3rd, 4-4 tie. 1 hop at a Bobby with 1 out, and we threw the ball away, and that made it a 7-run inning instead of 4. And it was a key play that hurt us at the time. Well, you're gonna have that happen. You're gonna make errors. It's part of the game, and I do think we did bounce back, because the next game we had to lead again and go in the 9th inning. So there's no quitting these guys. I mean, I believe that I saw them do it. We were down 3 games at LIU, came back and won 3. But this team was a little bit better, and we had trouble coming back and beating them. And like I said, they had an answer for every single time we scored. They scored they weren't even off the field yet, and they were scoring runs. It was incredible. So.
No, they like you said, they didn't panic. Signs of a true contender in that, really, they were down 6, 4-2, etc. And they kept chipping away.
There's a reason they're the defending champs the last 2 years. I mean, they're 2 years in a row. And, they've gone to the NCAA tournament and won games in the NCAA tournament. Steve Owens has over 600 wins. I mean, the man's record speaks for itself.
Now, the offense definitely showed up. They have a very solid weekend. Bobby Romano got named the NEC Rookie of the Week. We'll talk about the freshman third baseman in a second. I want your thoughts about your pitching this weekend as a whole. It seemed like every pitcher kind of had similar stat lines. They gave you solid innings, some very solid innings, and then some when they ran into trouble. Some control issues, some big innings that proved to be their downfall over the weekend, the starters. And, of course, Eric Snyder, how much we talked about him this season. Possibly fatigue, or just, what were your thoughts about?
I think a combination of both. Joe Flacco, first game, I took him out at 128 pitches. I mean, he had an extremely high pitch count, and that's late is when he started giving, like you said, he had to shut him out for the first 5. And then he was getting into pitch count trouble. And right now, the bullpen's been a little shaky. And I said, you know what, I'm going to try to get Joe through 7 and Eric through 2. And, we came within 1 out of it working, and it had a good enough lead that it should have worked, but things happen. Borelli, same thing, that 4-4 tie, and that ball gets thrown away, and it kind of like, you could just see the pitchers, oomph get taken out of him when a play like that gets made. And Ryan McGrath gave us a phenomenal game. He gave 4 runs in the first 2 innings, held them right there. We battled back 4-1, 4-2, 4-3. Before you know, we're winning 5-4. And then we blew that game in a bomb.
4
scoreless innings. And, a lot of people say, well, why didn't you leave him out there? Well, he was at 110 pitches, too. So, and when it comes to Eric Snyder, listen, yes, he was tired, and Bryant was hot. And that was a bad combination. But, this is the all-time save leader in the history of the conference. He's the guy that's got it done for me. Yes, we've pushed him this year, but you know what? If we hadn't pushed him, we wouldn't be playing this weekend for something. We're playing for something because we pushed him. The kid's got 4 wins and 9 saves. That's 13 of our 17 wins. And in the conference, I think all but 2 that he's been involved in. So you know what? If I'm going to lose, I'm more than happy to take my chances with Eric Snyder.
With his last road regular season series, I don't think I would have made a different decision. Now, let's talk about the positive is that Bobby Romano walked away with his first piece of hardware as a member of the FDU family. Rookie of the Week honors. Started 3 of the 4 contests, had a great series at the plate. He's been pretty much phenomenal in the field this entire season. Your thoughts on his award?
Yeah, well, I talked about Bobby the last time he won Rookie of the Week, which was a few weeks ago, and this is his second one. And hey,
whoops,
Bobby,
that was my fault. 2, sorry, Bobby.
Bobby's going to be a mainstay for us. I mean, he's done a great job at third. I love him down there. He's got great instincts. He's got a gun. The kid just incredible arm. And what's nice is, as a freshman, his offense, which started slow, which happens for every freshman. He reminds me a lot of Matt McCann's season last year, where Matt started out struggling, hitting under 200 the first 15 games or so. And then Matt picked it up and ended up hitting about 280. I think Bobby's hitting about 240 now, but he was down at about 150 at one time. So he's really made some great strides. You could just see he's much more confident at the plate. And hey, this kid's a kid that you're going to hear his name a lot over the next 4 years. No ifs, ands, or buts. He is one heck of a baseball player.
You have to be happy with the youth you have on the left side of the infield. Not to mention you got some solid fielders that'll be here for at least another season, if not more. But got to be happy with the youth and skill that you've seen so far from the field.
Yeah, we lose Riley, which is no easy loss because Riley makes plays that are just incredible in center field. So it's not going to be an easy guy to replace. But the good part is the other 8 starters are all coming back. Every one of them's back, so that lineup's back except for Riley, and that gives us a nice starting point for next year. That's for darn sure. And we do have some more guys coming in, so I think next year is going to be a lot like this year. A lot of opportunity for the new freshmen as pitchers, and hopefully they step up, and if they can get it done, we're going to be competitive again.
All right, and not too much about next year already. There's plenty to still play for this season to play. The Mountaineers, Mount St. Mary's, coming to Teaneck this weekend. A game Friday, a game Sunday, 2 on Saturday. Little scouting report, what do you expect from the Mountaineers? And more importantly, alumni, we expect you to be here, fans out here cheering on your Knights as they try to get to the NEC tournament, but also Senior Day on Sunday and the barbecue afterwards. Senior Day, a very important day, honoring our seniors and our captains. Take it away, a little scouting report of this entire weekend.
Yeah, Mount's got Andrew Clouse, one of the best players in the league, clearly one of the best players in the league, if not the best player in the league. They got Britton, he's another outstanding hitter. Their pitchers are all tough. They may not be the big name pitchers that some of these other teams have, but they've always been solid. Mount always plays hard. They always hit. Nothing's going to be easy, and they need 2 wins to get in themselves. So it's not like they're not playing for something. They're playing for something. And we knocked them out last year, the last weekend of the season, and I'm sure they got that in the back of their mind too. That they want to get out of here with their 2 wins and go to the playoffs, and we're going to try to stop them. That's the name of the game.
All right, Senior Day Sunday, bittersweet day, but one to look forward to.
Yeah, Senior Day is going to be a little tough, so hopefully we have it wrapped up before then or whatever, because these guys have basically made my career here the last 4 years, and they're just a special group. So it will be, as you said, bittersweet, because I could not have asked for better kids for that longer period. I don't ever remember having that big a group of kids for 4 years that I enjoyed more than this group.
You've done it before. Your 4th year of a new tenure at a program. The 4th years always must be the toughest, because these are the kids that you came in with.
Yeah, well, the good part is, because of a couple of kids redshirting, I get to keep Shane and Pat, and Pat's my first recruit here, so that that's at least I get to hold on to them, and Ryan McDonald for another year, who I know since he's 9. So I'm not losing the whole group, but I'm losing a big portion of the whole group, and they definitely were special. That's all there is to it.
All right, you heard it. Mountaineers, Mount St. Mary's coming to visit the Knights. Basically a winner take all. The Knights need to win the series, get into the NEC tournament. We hopefully will be talking about that NEC tournament next week on the 15th edition of the Knights Baseball Roundup. Anything to add on this week?
Just come out and support us. We're going to give it our best shot. Win, lose, or draw. These kids will play with class and dignity.
Love it. Love it. Come out and support your Knights on the Nominal Family Baseball Complex. Come out and support Gary, his players. We'll see you here this weekend. 1 game Friday, 2 on Saturday, doubleheader, and Sunday, of course, is Senior Day. Thank you for watching another edition of the Knights Baseball Roundup. We'll see you here at the field this weekend.